Hi, this is Tom Watson back with In It to Win It, and unless you planned ahead and brought your gloves like I did, you're about to get your hands dirty. First thing we got to do is get this cover off of here, get that old camshaft out, and then get started on putting the new camshaft back in. Okay, so let's get this camshaft out of the way, set it over here, and get this little cover off. Want to always keep a good cover on whenever you're working on an engine. Then the first thing we got to do is go ahead and start pulling this water pump assembly, front timing cover. Then we'll pull the water pump. I have to pull off this lower pulley and all of the stuff that's on the front of this block. We'll get all that off, and then we'll be able to get access to our camshaft and be able to remove it. As you can see, the block's already got the pistons out of it. It's already got the roller lifters have already been lifted out. The heads have already been taken off. As I said, we went to the machine shop and picked those up the other day. So they were pulled off, taken to the machine shop, got those cleaned up. We've got some pistons coming in. As you can see, the crankshaft is still in it. This engine was a running racing engine. It had dropped a valve, so it messed up one of the pistons. Fortunately, it wasn't too bad, but we're able to take and rebuild this racing engine and take it back to the track so that we can get another run at it, maybe get some more years of life out of this Ford racing engine. It's an SVO block, and the big thing about this thing is it's a racing inspired block. As you can see, there's the webbing on it. It's like really stiff. It's got some good main bearings on it, or main caps. These are all billet main caps that are up under here. This is a pure racing engine. As you can see right in this area, there's no provision for an oil filter here. All it has is an input for an external oil pump. It's already plumbed out for the external oil pump. So we'll be using, actually we're going to be using a dry sump system on here. So the big treat for this build is that we're going to be able to install a dry sump system in that CRS chassis that I was telling you about. So let's go ahead and get this pump and front assembly off, and then we'll get down to the camshaft. Now, you never want to use your engine block or anything like that as a place to set your bolts. You'll always want to have some kind of container just to keep all the bolts for the job that you're working on. A good coffee can will work. Well, as you can see, this harmonic balancer takes a specialty tool to pull it off, a harmonic balancer puller. Lucky for us, we've got one here in the toolbox. Okay, now to use this harmonic balancer, we need this little shaft. This is the one that pushes in and pulls. You have to have a little piece to press against the end of the crankshaft because you don't want to mess up the threads in the end of the crankshaft. So you'll take them first, just thread this onto the threaded portion. And this is the piece that bolts over here on the harmonic balancer with 3 bolts. And then what we will do is we will take and put this little end that just conveniently just snaps down on the top of here. Then we'll take our bolts and get this thing started here. There we go, we've got it off. And you may notice there's one thing I consistently do. I put my tools back as I work with them. I don't get them all way out here on the floor in my way. I just want to get them back in the toolbox where they go. Every tool has a place. There's a place for everything. So we want to keep it in that order so we don't end up losing our tools. They're expensive enough without having to replace them all the time. And there we go. We've got it off. Just like that. Easy enough. Okay, well, something like this right here will usually be in there with some Loctite. So the best thing to do is to start out with is get your fire wrench and put a little fire on it. Just want to put some heat right down around here, around where the threads are at. Kind of heat the end of the bolt up just a little bit. You don't have to get it glowing or anything of that nature. Just get some good heat on it. Loosen that Loctite up. Okay. Let's see what we got there. And then, for a little specialty tool, we've got this little impact driver. Takes out things like this. So we've got a little hex drive on it. So, gonna have to put a little torque on it to get it out. So what we're going to do is place that in there, and we'll twist this driver to this side, and then so. And take them out. Same thing with the top. And that's how you get it out. Okay, so what we'll do to hold on to this camshaft as we're taking out and kind of get it started out of there, because we'll be able to hold it in our hands as we take it out. We'll take the bolt that we used that was holding the cam gear on, and we'll take and put that bolt in. Just run it in a little bit, and then we'll use it to kind of start sliding it out. Thank you so much for joining in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next session.